Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about trick-or-treating. Halloween used to be a fun time when you were younger. You used to walk around with your friends, you used to get dressed up, go to school, everyone was dressed up in creepy costumes and people would compliment your costume and you'd feel like a big man. Walk around with your friends afterwards, go get candies and reminisce on all the spooky things that happened during this time of year. But it seems kind of dead, doesn't it? I feel like the last couple of years, there's just no trick-or-treaters at all. It feels like a dead meme. Trick-or-treating is a thing of the past. And sure, you have trunk or treating, but goddamn, that doesn't count for anything. If I'm gonna go walk around a parking lot for a bit on people's trunks, that. So today I wanted to talk about what the hell happened to trick-or-treating, right? What was some of the causes of trick-or-treating's demise? And no, I'm not gonna talk about kids having cell phones and else probably. Well, we might touch on that a little bit, but some people say it was the economy collapse in 2008. Really? People are gonna stop eating Tootsie Rolls and dressing up as a goddamn werewolf because their mom and dad can't pay for a house? Doubtful. Doubtful. I think it's because of parents are too afraid to send their kids out into this crazy, crazy world. And hell, I think even kids are too afraid to go out into this crazy, crazy world. There's a lot of stories, a lot of crazy things seem to happen during this time of year, and a lot of dangerous things seem to happen as well. Let's go down the dark rabbit hole of the dangers of trick-or-treating.
Today's video is sponsored by Pretty Litter. Do you have cats? I'll tell you what, I wish I didn't. At my house, we're always playing a fun game of where's that smell coming from? If you have cats at home that can't control their urine, like mine, or if you want to find out more about the health of your cat's urine, you need Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter was developed by veterinarians and is a great way to monitor your cat at home. Pretty Litter has crystals that help absorb odor and moisture, keeping your house smelling fresh. And the litter will change colors based on the pH of your cat's urine, so you can monitor any potential health issues easily. Yellow and green litter is good to go, and orange and red or blue easily. Yellow and green litter is good to go, and orange and red or blue may mean it's time to see a vet to check out that pussy. We have some cats at the house with health issues, so my wife loves the color-coded monitoring system. When the house smells better and pee is where it's supposed to be, everyone is happy. Pretty Litter keeps tabs on my cat's health and keeps odors down. Go to prettylitter.com/papameat and use code PAPAMEAT to save 20% off your first order and get a free cat toy. Thank you, Pretty Litter, for sponsoring this video, and back to the video.
It starts off a lot with, people getting candy, right? Knock on a door, trick or treat, and then usually you're giving candy. But sometimes there has been reports of people getting dangerous things inside of candy or instead of candy, right? In many cases, the source of malicious Halloween candy tampering is hard to track down. Because of this, people are convinced that most of these stories are just fear-mongering, right? There's a lot of stories out there, but not a lot of proof. And a lot of people use this as ways to basically diminish, maybe even slander the name of Halloween. But these instances can be real. Much like in 2019, Jason Rax from Waterbury, Connecticut was arrested on Halloween night for tampering with children's Halloween candy. All right, that's a bad charge to have already. You're already on the list if you're tampering with Halloween candy like that. Several Waterbury residents reported to police that there were razor blades in their children's Halloween baskets. It was noted that the razor blades were loose and not found inside the candy themselves. Just throwing in a handful of razors, Gillette razors, just flopping around some Tootsie Rolls due to Milk Dud boxes. The man believed to be responsible for this incident was 37-year-old Jason Rax, who was taken into custody almost immediately. Rax told the police that they accidentally spilled the candy bowls that he used to hand out the treats in. The same bowl that I put all my random razor blades in was the bowl we so happen to have our Skittles in, man. Don't you believe me? And I hate to say this too, but I will say this looks like a man who would hand out razor blades too. They gotta get you purposely looking fucking terrible in these shots, right?
I think I've read that they purposely wait
just a long time, so you're just tired as shit. Yeah. When questioned, Rax could not explain how the blades got to the children's baskets without being noticed. In what world could he accidentally not stab the shit out of his hand by being like, oh my god, wait, there's razor blades in here. There's no way he can fumble around. Here you go, kids. Wait, what is that shiny metallic object that I just put into that kid's basket? I don't know.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of doubt. I think he went to Lowe's, got his candy there and razor blades, and then he just dumped the basket.
Why Lowe's for razor blades? Why Lowe's is your example? If anything, I thought you'd say he went to Walmart, he picked up all his fun-sized family bag of candies. He's like, I'm gonna give out candies this year. Usually I don't. I'm going to this year. I gotta clean up, I gotta shave. Picked up a bunch of razor blades. Whenever you get home, you have your bags of groceries on your counters, and then you're handling your, it's all your goodies you bought. Ooh, I gotta, you're snacking all the stuff you want to snack on. And then coincidentally, not with the sleight of a hand, oops, in the bowl with the candy. That's probably what happened. He was ultimately charged with the risk of injury to a minor, reckless endangerment, and interfering with a police officer. His bond was set to $250,000. Luckily, no children were injured through the whole ordeal. Thank God. Which, you know, there are many reported instances of sharp metal objects being sneakily hidden inside candy wrappers and handed out to kids, which is a sentence that I never thought I would say. And I didn't think that it was that common, but apparently it is. And in one case, an 11-year-old was sent to the hospital after eating a foreign metal object hidden inside a Reese's peanut butter cup. If I had a nickel. If I had a dime every time that happened to me, dude. She was rushed to the hospital soon after to have it surgically removed. I don't know if did you eat the fucking Reese's putt in one fucking gulp? Goddamn, dude. Bite into it.
Didn't even chew it.
Yeah, she's like, she's like, I hate chewing chocolate. It happened again in 2021 when it was reported that a sewing needle was found crammed inside of a Kit Kat bar and another in a pack of Sour Patch Kids.
Were they skewered?
They skewered it in, and the picture of that is that is crazy. People were so worried that a local community hospital offered to provide x-rays of any candy distributed to trick-or-treaters using a portable x-ray machine. Ohio police called it truly disturbing. Yeah, look at that Kit Kat. My God, what kind of psychopath? Yeah. Listen, dude, I get not liking kids, right? Kids are fucking annoying. To put a needle inside a Kit Kat, eat it. To be that mentally fucking disturbed, then to also be like, have fun out there tonight, and as they're walking away, they turn around, they're just like, you know what I mean? Fucking psychopaths. Offering free x-rays for the bad stuff in candies has been pretty notable and was even pretty big in the 80s. And even last year in 2023, Wisconsin parents discovered that their child's Halloween candy included a Tootsie Roll with a nail in it. Isn't that fun? The parents posted an image to Facebook to alert other parents, showing that she already been injured upon finding it. Dude, we can't show the whole bloody ass thumb. There's the nail. With all these stories about sharp objects being put inside candy, the culprit seems to never be found. It might lead you to be skeptical, but it's still terrifying to imagine nonetheless. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. How many of those that we just talked about do you think are real?
That Facebook one? That seems fake. Ow, I poked my finger.
Well, I was gonna say, what, you're gonna set up a shot of like, also my fucking nails are, I don't even know if we're gonna release the pumpkin spice thing. There's been a couple videos, all right? They're gel. I can't peel them off, they're fucking gel. It hurt, it burned. I had to put my hand inside this purple illuminated box, and it was scolding. I was like, ow. And she was just like, just wait a second, it'll go away. And I was like, I put it back in, and yeah, these motherfuckers are not coming off. And I felt really stupid because I was like, so tonight, how do I get these off? She said, tonight? I said, yeah, can I peel these off tonight? And she's like, oh, these are supposed to be on for 3 weeks. And I said, So that's the whole thing. I was gonna do it, doesn't matter. But yeah, staging it in front of also all your aesthetic candy and shit too. Come on, man. That shit seems set up. Even the way that the nails poking out. Come on, dude.
How did she stab herself? The nail was pointing down and it stabbed her thumb.
I mean, it's still protruding out of the wrapper. You could still fucking poke your thumb, Nick. How did she do that? The paper's there protecting the nail. What the hell? But in 2014, an Ohio mother checked her son's candy to find 4 boxes of Milk Duds, each filled with .22 caliber bullets.
That's insane.
Well, it is insane. I'll tell you why, because Milk Duds are my favorite candy. All right. And everyone gets mad at me when I say that. Does it take 7 years to chew one Milk Dud? Yeah, dude. But guess what? That's what makes it so good. You have to work through it to enjoy no pain, no gain, as they say, right? Also, just want to say, finding .22 caliber bullets inside the Milk Dud box, that's wrong. Okay? Chrissy Campbell's 4-year-old son, Landon, came home, bringing along some candy that was given to him from his preschool. What are you going to give bullets to a kid for? I mean, what the fuck do you expect him to, a 4-year-old to show up to school with a gun like that? What are you talking about? Well, he has to have the .22 caliber gun, dude. If you're going to fuck with kids like that, at least make it to where, I don't know, it's a thing full of tacks. And they're like, ooh, and they eat it. Chocolate, blood on their tongue. During a Halloween event, parents handed out homemade bags of candy to children. The Milk Dud boxes were given to the child inside a small black bag that said, eat, drink, and be scary. What's even creepier is that the large bag that contained these items had the children's name written on them. The motherfucker knew who they were. Yeah. All right? That's a little, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually legitimately pretty creepy. And how did they not get caught?
Yeah, what the hell?
Nobody at the preschool would comment on the matter, and the Peebles Police Department began an investigation. They also planned to work with the prosecutor's office to determine what charges would apply. There appears to be no update as to whether or not the culprit was found. But how? How many kids are in the class? It's like, just bring all the the parents in and be like, hello? Which one? It's like one guy with like, he's like super tall and he's like a giant like trench coat. He's like, which one of you did this? It's the guy with like loading a gun in the back. We gotta protect our kids. George, your child died drowning 6 months ago. What are you doing here? Just miss her. It would be some shit like that, you know what I mean? If I can't have my baby girl, no one can have their baby girls.
I bet you the mom saw the Milk Dud boxes, shook them. Oh, they're Milk Duds. And the guy was handing.
What the hell are you saying? Chocolate orbs are not gonna sound like bullet casings. Zing, ding, 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 ding. That's what a Milk Dud sounds like. Sounds like a little canister of pennies. What the hell? Like you're sympathetic to the mom who's just like, yep, those are Milk Duds. Start popping off in her hand.
I'm just saying, I think that.
You seem like the fucking guy that would do it then, dude. Are you kidding me? I don't see the big deal. I didn't. Easy mistake for anybody, really. If razor blades and sewing needles weren't bad enough, imagine checking your child's Halloween candy and finding drugs. Oh my God, drugs. No! Like in 2019, when a mother from North Plains found a purple chewable Advil pill in her child's Halloween candy, disguised as a sweet tart. I don't even know. You know, if I'm being completely honest, this is how bad of a parent I'd be. I'd be like, oh, you have a headache? You know what I mean? If you needed an Advil, just let me know. I'll give you an Advil. Is Advil that bad? Can you get hooked on one Advil? I mean, like, if it was like, here's a whole thing of Advil, I'd be like, well, that's irresponsible. But I think it was just one.
Yeah, if the whole sweet tart thing was Advil.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those like candy necklaces. Like that. Typically, the most common culprit that is found in candy is meth. Hey, who's got a sweet tooth? I know I do. Horror stories like this have consumed parents around the Halloween season, specifically due to a recent story involving fentanyl, the boogeyman. The boogeyman of the drugs lately. In October of 2022, 12,000 suspected fentanyl pills were found in various bags of candy, as reported by the DEA agents at LAX, just at the airport. 12,000 pills. What the fuck is fentanyl? Oh my God, look at that. Look at this Whoppers case. Okay, Whopper certainly has changed their design. It's also anybody carrying around a box of sweet tarts, check that mother. Who the fuck eats sweet tarts? Or even Whoppers for that matter, dude. Whoppers suck malt balls. That's like some 1950s candy, dude. I want popcorn and malt balls. Because they have nothing else. People are just like, why don't you eat anything else? Literally, Coca-Cola and malt balls. Put me in a fentanyl flop over getting a box of fucking sweet tarts and Whoppers, dude. Are you kidding me? Unfortunately, the suspect fled prior to being detained, but has been identified and is currently part of an ongoing investigation. Once again, nobody really arrested besides the first guy at the very beginning with his mishap with razors in a bowl. How have we not caught anybody else? Now I kind of believe him too. It feels like an accident. Everything else that's real, they're getting away left and right. He's like, I have nothing to hide. There was an accident. It was an accident. Even back in 2017, reports of fentanyl blotters were found all around Canada during Halloween time. Blotters are a type of paper used to carry liquid solution of a drug. Typically, you see that with the LSD you put in your tongue. Don't take the brown acid. That kind of thing. That's a blotter. Oh, look at that one. That one's cute. It has a little witch on it. How festive and fun. Eat this razor blade. Although many believe the spread of fentanyl in Halloween candy is widely overblown, it still seems to have most parents terrified.
That one's believable because a lot of these are like, oh, why would someone hand out weed brownies or whatever when fentanyl's so cheap?
What is fentanyl? Is it a muscle relaxer kind of thing or no?
It's manufactured in China.
Chinese and their opioids, opioids, huh? Those motherfuckers love those opioids. I keep wanting to say opioids. The Chinese love their old boys, huh? One of the most famous stories that started the tampered candy panic occurred in 1959, when Dr. William Shine pranked his entire neighborhood on Halloween night. What does a prank in 1959 look like, huh? I'm gonna prank everyone. Everyone. Dr. Shine, could you let us go home now? He just like smiles at him. The mad dentist handed out 450 candy-coated laxatives to the local trick-or-treaters. They're all going to poop themselves. Then they will know my wrath. It was reported that 30 kids fell violently ill. In the end, they recovered, but likely had their holiday ruined. It feels like it's a dentist being like, see, candy's bad for you.
Let me look at your beautiful teeth.
You'd think dentists would want kids to eat candy so they could do surgery on them and get money.
Yeah, I always imagine that every dentist is like sadistic. Like they love him.
Oh, you have a cavity.
With like a machine, like some made up machine. They're like,
you have to fill it today.
Put it on your deal and they're like rotating around, whatever. It looks like a fucking like Tim Burton device or something.
I have to get the cavity. It's very deep.
The townsfolk traced the tampered with candy back to Shine's place. The doctor was charged with several crimes, including outrage of public decency and an unlawful dispensing of drugs, which in 1959, you know, the guy was just like, hey, they pooped. They They pooped. It's not a big deal. You shit every day. Look at you. God, people are so soft now. Becky ate a nail yesterday. They're like, those are nails, not pharmaceuticals, doctor. This is just one of the many rare stories that instilled fear in the minds of parents around the Halloween season. And these are the kind of stories, too, I can tell. Definitely, you'd say, well, did you hear about this one? Oh, like holding your daughter back. Oh, or what about her? Go home, run, go home. But in 2023, an 11-year-old child was given laced treats by a group of boys on electric scooters.
With ski mask on.
I think we call them hoodlums or thugs. One day in Christchurch, New Zealand, a schoolboy was trick-or-treating with his friends for the very first time in the suburb of Parkland with his mates. When he was picked up by his mother, she was told that the boy ate treats offered by random boys on the street. Red flag number one. I mean, imagine anybody. My age or what, even if my friend, if you came up to me and you're like, eat this, I'd be like, no. You know what I mean? What, random boy, ski mask on? Imagine someone like a masked person, eat this. Okay. I don't give a fuck how young I was. There's no way I would do that. Would you?
I did that to my friend. I gave him cat food, cat treat.
Did he eat it?
Yeah, he took a bite. He's like, what is this?
He couldn't smell that it was a cat treat?
They're really tiny.
Do they look like candy? I mean, they're probably coarse and they look like cat food, I would imagine.
They're like little stars and fish shaped.
But it probably looked like cat food though, right?
Probably.
As soon as he ingested the treat, his throat and mouth started to burning and his lips were tingling. Soon after, he started to have bad stomach pains. What the fuck? Did they give him like cyanide or something? God damn. Not knowing what was ingested, the mother began panicking. The child, who had serious allergies. Yeah, I like how he's like, I'm allergic to everything. They're like, eat this. Okay, fine. I'm allergic to everything, but I'll eat whatever you tell me. He had serious allergies. Thought he was about to undergo anaphylactic shock. Choked to death. As the night progressed, the boy began to throw up repeatedly, and the stomach pains became more and more severe. And eventually, the mother's teenage daughter alerted her that there was talk of teenage boys putting laxatives in lolly cakes. What is up with laxatives, dude? Apparently, they had been handing them out all night to unsuspecting children. If I was a younger guy and I was like, I'm gonna give away the lollipops to kids and just make them shit their pants, on paper, pretty funny. In practice, horrible. Also, if your kid is like severely, let me just go off on this mom a little bit. If your kid is severely allergic to a bunch of different and he's like, I just ate something random, my stomach hurts, my lips are burning. Why would you just be like, well, we'll see what happens let's give it a few hours. Why would you not rush him to the hospital? There's enough time for your teenage daughter to come home and be like, oh yeah, kids are putting like pharmaceuticals and lollipops. She's like, oh good, you're just going to poop for a while, sweetheart. Have a good night. And the kid's like, roll around. You know what? Let's give an award for worst mom so far of the year.
Have you ever drugged your friends?
No. Have you drugged your friends?
One friend.
Why?
Well, it was a month prior to my birthday. He like put caramel in my ear when I was sleeping, and I got a huge infection. So for my birthday, I had my brother put sleeping pills in his drinks all night. So that he could fall asleep.
That sounds illegal.
We could fuck with him. Well, he never fell asleep, but yeah, it was illegal.
You and your friend group sound miserable. Caramel in your ear? That sounds fucking awful as well.
Well, I was at the birthday party. The rule was whoever fell asleep, everyone gets to fuck with. But I had a tummy ache.
Don't say tummy. I would have put caramel in your ear too, dude. My tummy hurts still, but don't mess with me. I'd be like, I'm f***ing with that guy. In 2017, a mother from Florida discovered a prescription painkiller, tramadol, in her 3-year-old son's candy bag after attending a Treat Street event. God damn, once again, it's like, we're on the same street. You know what I mean? Which one of you put fucking tramadol in my son's Tootsie Roll wrapper? The Riverview Chamber of Commerce claims that after 29 years of running the event, this has never happened that we know of, right? They believe that it was merely an accident rather than a malicious or intentional act.
It's a painkiller. It's probably over the counter.
I'm sorry, he's gonna feel good for a while. They bring in some like weird gossiping shit, you know what I mean? We hear you yelling at your husband, Teresa, so he probably needs it. In 2023, a prescription drug, clonazepam pill, was found in their child's Halloween candy. Clonazepam is used to treat panic or anxiety attacks. It was found on a plastic bag decorated with candy corn, quote, along with various pieces of mixed candy.
It's just loose candy.
It's just loose, unwrapped candy and a candy corn bag. Halloween is here. Once again, no culprit was found. But of course, why not? But the Sireville Police Department made a statement on Facebook warning people to examine their children's candy. If you're not doing that already, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Come on. I don't think my mom ever, I don't think he ever did. I remember one time I think I took out like what was those hard candies that had the fucking strawberry wrapper?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those hard candies? I unwrapped one of them. There was like long black hair wrapped around it. What my fat ass did, I did. You know what I mean? Sick for 3 days afterwards. Oh, too much sugar. Not realizing I probably just ate like pubic hair or something like that. In the year 2000, police began an investigation over the discovery of Snicker bars crammed with bags of marijuana. On Halloween night, at least 9 Snicker bars were filled with marijuana and passed out to unknowing trick-or-treaters in Hercules. The police had a few leads to follow, but ultimately were not able to find the source. How is it possible that just no one is found? No one comes forward. Every time. The next one where if they don't find the next one, I'm rage quitting. In 2018, 2 parents were sent to the hospital after eating meth-laced Halloween candy. God damn. Meth, now that's a fucking trick or treat right there. Holy shit. You just got tricked. You know what I mean? We gave you the candy. Why are you tricking us? You just got tricked. The Oregon Sheriff's Office made a statement about Halloween candy reportedly being altered in the Aloha community. While the family was trick-or-treating, they ate a packet of Sour Patch Kids and began to feel sick. The leftover candies were taken in for an investigation and were tested positive for presence of methamphetamine. Fortunately, none of the children ingested any of the laced candy, which I think is unfair. I think we got to go down as a family. If daddy and mommy eat a piece of meth Sour Patch Kids, then I think the children should as well. Only fair, right? Who bought you the costume? Daddy and mommy did. A police sheriff in 2022 shared his story of being forced to eat LSD-laced candy when he was a young child. On Halloween Day, a 6-year-old Andrew Brunson attended a trick-or-treat fair to play games and go on rides. While there, he encountered a bizarre adult that repeatedly insisted he eat a piece of candy he had in his hand. Like he was feeding a fucking horse, dude. It's just right there. Eat it. You're hungry, aren't you? He went so far as to open it up himself and put it in his mouth. Being a child, he ate the candy without giving it much thought. He's like... Brunson ended up in the hospital after his mother saw him unconscious on the ground. Today, the police sheriff urges parents to be aware of where their kids are on Halloween and to walk in the neighborhoods during the daytime. POV, someone's giving you candy and they're like, and then it's just black. And you wake up and you're like,
That's horrifying.
It's absolutely horrifying. That's so fucked up. It was Halloween, 1964, when 13-year-old Elsie Drucker and her 15-year-old sister Irene were almost killed from ingesting arsenic hidden inside of Halloween candy. While sorting through the Halloween candy, 2 ant buttons were discovered. These are tools used to kill insects and pesticides, all that kind of shit, right? The community was alerted of this, leading to 19 more ant buttons to be discovered in other houses in the neighborhood. With the help of the 2 children, the police were able to trace the toxic treats to the home of a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Feel. Finally, we get justice of one of these motherfuckers, dude. Finally, we get a face. Especially a 47-year-old housewife named Helen Feel didn't have anything better to do.
We got too many ant buttons. I don't got any more ants, you take them.
She was charged with child endangerment and held the risk of facing prison time. As you probably should, dude. What the fuck? Yeah.
Wait, so I'm really gonna go to the big house for this one?
Yeah. According to Feel's husband, the whole thing was a joke. What a hoot and a holler. Helen, however, had a strange motive behind her actions. She told the courtroom that she, quote, didn't mean it maliciously and intentionally handed out the poisonous treats to people who should have already aged out of the activity.
I gave it to other people who I thought were too old trick-or-treating.
What? As it turned out, Helen was also handing out dog biscuits and steel wool as well. Hilariously enough, Helen's husband spent Halloween night trick-or-treating with her teenage sons, who were likely older than the people she divvied out the poison to. Field was forced to undergo 60 days in a psychiatric hospital as a result of her heinous actions. Throw her in the loony bin. Yeah, exactly. They were ant buttons! Helen pleaded guilty in the middle of her trial, but her case was ultimately suspended and was chalked up to a mere stupidity rather than genuine malice, which is so This is like 1960s justice. She's a crazy broad. Not again. All right, Helen. He's like, like all spazzed out and hair all. She's like, no problem, Your Honor. Judge Thomas M. Stark said, I don't understand why she had done such a stupid thing as this, but I feel incarceration is not the answer. What a man of the people, a political beacon of justice. But one of the most tragic instances of Halloween laced candy was that of Ronald O'Brien, dubbed the man who killed Halloween. It was a rainy Halloween night in 1974. Ronald O'Brien went out trick-or-treating with his children near his home in Deer Park suburb of Houston. They joined the Bates family as their two kids traveled as a group. Nice family out, nice Halloween night, right? The rain had poured so intensely that the night had to end early. Before bed, Timothy requested a treat, to which O'Brien recommended the Pixie Sticks, even going so far as to help pour the candy into his son's mouth. Within 90 minutes, Timothy was pronounced dead. His daughter Elizabeth had also chosen the Pixie Sticks, but she survived because she was unable to open the Pixie Sticks. As it turns out, both Timothy and Elizabeth's candy had been poisoned. According to investigators, O'Brien filled the top 2 inches of Pixie Sticks with granules of potassium cyanide. What a fucking monster. Especially to think that the guy was just like, all right, open up. Ooh, big Halloween night.
I gotta go check on your sister.
Parents across Texas began to freak out over the possibility that their children would be poisoned as well. And in response, they threw away all Halloween candies that were collected. Hence O'Brien's nickname, the man who killed Halloween. Shockingly, there were more than just 2 laced Pixie Sticks. In fact, 5 other children were given the same candy from Ronald. Ronald was tasked with locating the other Pixie Sticks, but there was no way to find the exact whereabouts of where those Pixie Sticks were at. The police turned their attention to O'Brien after finding out that he had taken out $30,000 in life insurance policies for both his children. It's so stupid. It's so suspicious. You know, just what's your highest you can go? 30,000. Yeah, both of them. I was planning on keeping one of them, but with the amount, sure, fine. I'll settle with 30.
You know what's crazy? Nowadays, it costs about like $20,000 just to give birth to a child in the hospital. You're not even making that much money now.
It also costs $76,000 for a truck. Prices sure have skyrocketed, haven't they, Nick? Not only was he trying to profit off the deaths of his children, he was willing to involve other innocent kids in an attempt to make the crime appear random. In fact, his own insurance agent admitted that Ronald called him within hours of Timothy's death to begin processing the claim. How f***ed up is that? Hey man, you want to go ahead and run those numbers? They're gone. They're long gone. That's horrible. Yeah. Run it. On June 3rd, O'Brien was sentenced to death via electric chair. He was executed on March 31st, 1984. He maintained his innocence all the way to the end, stating, quote, "Because I have no guilt, I've really got nothing to worry about." What a man, Ronald. What a man. One of my favorite crazy Halloween incidents when I was a kid, it didn't have to do with necessarily drugs or anything, but there was one time I saw these kids go up to a house. They asked, trick or treat. But the guy was like, "Leave me alone." Because the whole indicator too is if somebody is doing trick or treating, their lights are on. So you can go, if their lights are off, it means no one's home. His lights were on and the kids were like, "Trick or treat," and he's like, "I'm not fucking doing it here." And they're like, "Well, why are your lights on?" He went over to his, there's a little garden bed next to him, and he gave a handful of rocks and put it in their bags, and he's like, "There you go, now fuck off." And the kids immediately went, took the rocks out, and just pelted the windows out of his car. He came out, "What the fuck?" He turned his light off after that, though. That was the one big one. I kept my rock.
You did?
Yeah. I got a rock from him. Halloween is supposed to be this joyous time for children, and me personally now, I loved trick-or-treating back then, but now it's just a time, it's an excuse to just get in the spirit of watching crazy-ass fun movies and having this kind of weird decor, feeling this looming kind of spooky vibe. And it's a shame nowadays that it's I look around, you don't see any of that kind of camaraderie with kids anymore, or even maybe one day me having another child, especially the one after the fire. I'd like to take my kid out trick-or-treating, experience the things that I used to experience when I was a kid. And it's a shame that people have to go and ruin such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I do have to say this. If you are planning on going and trick-or-treating this Halloween season, or maybe you're taking your kiddos or your puppers out for a nice jaunt around the Halloween trails, maybe check the candy. Maybe keep a nice, spooky eye on all of these crazy, crazy individuals. Until next time, safe trick-or-treating, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.